These are my dark predictions for September 2026, and this is part one. I make 3 of these every month, so if you've used to follow me on another channel, this is my new channel. Make sure to follow me here. And if you've been following me for a while, thank you so much. You already know what it is. You know these are just predictions, not facts. We get them from remote viewing. I'm pretty damn good at it, which is why I'm sharing it with the world, seeing if maybe somehow I can help. Imagine you could do this and you just sit at home and do nothing. You can predict pretty accurately next month and a couple months ahead of time. You gotta share it, right? And anyway, the way things are going with social media and the censorship, that's why I've had to build my own website where there you can get all my predictions uncensored, the things that some of these you might not be able to see fully here, but you'll be able to see them here, as well as my crypto predictions, stock predictions, gold and silver predictions, oil predictions, the apps I build, the music I make, and big update, I've now got 3 albums on there. I added my old album, so there's now 46 songs and 10 apps. I added 2 more apps, so yeah, it's always developing and growing. Enough of that, we'll talk about that more later. I would love to see you there, especially if you haven't checked it out yet, and especially if you're new here, because I know a lot of you guys are new here. Make sure you hit that button, because we do this every month, and we check it to see which ones are correct. We just did one yesterday, so you can go and check that out, and we checked last month, so see how many I get correct, what my accuracy rate is. Anyway, moving swiftly into the video, and I know you guys are always getting upset about this. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but I can talk more about who I believe, maybe in the website, but for now, I'm just going to say that, and maybe not actually say it, just because the sake of the algorithm and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it'll help, maybe it won't help. We'll find out. Next, historical, and we're gonna have to censor that too, because I don't think I can say that word. So that takes place. But again, just predictions. I hope it doesn't happen. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. We're gonna find out next month. We'll check. We'll see. We'll find out. And speaking of, well, let's move to the next one. Then I'll give you a little break here. This interesting, right? So AI cyber attacks increased dramatically. Unfortunate, but there is a fortunate side of this, and I'm going to try to give you guys those as well, because I'm now seeing that, like, although something is negative, if you look deep enough you could find something to turn that into a positive, as weird as that sounds. But I talk about that on the website, how you can basically you could find a way to benefit yourself from the increase in cyber attacks. And I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to you don't got to buy nothing. It's just a way to position yourself, another way to look at things, okay? We talk about it inside the website. And on the uncensored version of this post inside the website, I'll talk about that. So there's 2 separate videos now. There's the one that the public sees, and there's the one inside my website. Members only. And anyways, lots of stuff to do in there. We'll talk about it in a minute. Lots of people sick from packaged foods. This is interesting, right? Because, and I don't want, again, talk too much about it, because it could be seen as this or seen as that. But again, they're just predictions, entertainment purposes, whatever you want. But if I hit a little bit too close to home, I put myself in jeopardy. You know, I put it's a giant risk to myself. These corporations have so much money. And so I don't want to say anything too much publicly, but just be careful from packaged food next month, and even this month. Okay? Next. And like always, I hope it doesn't happen, but I see a major plane crash happening, and apparently some kind of important people are on, which leads to some kind of conspiracy. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. We'll find out next month. And what else we got? Famous company suddenly goes bankrupt. This, another thing that you could potentially benefit from if you had a little bit more information, or you know how to position yourself if you caught wind of that early. And yeah, so there's one more on here, and this is probably the worst one, so stay with me. But I just want to mention a couple things about the stuff that we've been posting inside the website, just so you know that there's now like 70 predictions posted in there about all sorts of stocks and cryptos. Guys, the next 3 months are going to be the most important 3 months for the next few years, guys. You don't understand how, like, lucky we all are to have such a wonderful dip, and it might get worse, maybe not, right? Because everyone expects it. But anyway, we're in this position, we're in this pocket of time. There's 3 months left. Guys, you need to be following the right people. You need to be doing your own research. You need to be looking into investing in the right direction, because what happens next when Bitcoin starts halving again and the block reward goes up and all of crypto goes up and Bitcoin hits all new highs to 160, 120, there's a bunch of other cryptos that are going to go with it. And right now, if you've looked at the charts, I don't know if you looked at the charts, or even if you even know anything about crypto, again, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but now is the time, because I won't be saying this in 6 months. In 6 months, I'll say it's too late. You either got in or it's too late, you know? Like, I'm not going to be telling you guys to be buying at the top. I'm not going to be like those other content creators that are saying, it's going to go up forever. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, I'm over here telling you guys when it's dirt cheap, when it's completely flattened out, total correction, and everything's rock bottom, like low prices, and you can ride that shit for the next couple of years and just quadruple 5x 10x. That's what the website's all about, is trying to find these 5xers and 10xers, the big movers, you know, when it comes to AI, robotics, all the big upcoming moves. So that's all there. And I don't have sponsors. I am my own sponsor now, so I can do that, and we can talk about that. And it's going to happen all the time until you come in there and you find out how beneficial it is. And it's always evolving. We're always adding more stuff. I added 2 more apps, like I said earlier. I know, we'll get to the last one. Don't worry. I haven't seen you guys in a while. It's been a few days. You can bear with me. I added a Bitcoin halving countdown. It's at something like 600 days. You'll find out soon why that'll become the most important countdown on the internet and in crypto. Not mine specifically, but that countdown, the timer specifically. And if you know, you know. And also, we started, how amazing is this? The world's first non-biological database for silicon life forms. Yeah, I know, that's a mouthful. It doesn't make much sense until you really listen to what I just said, or check it out on the website, because it's now in the app section. It has categorized every single silicon life form, so any major AI that's out there, open source, open weight, open or proprietary, all their names and access to all of them in one location. And the population is now 98. So there's 98 non-biological silicon life forms that are now available, living in the cloud, that we can speak to and use to build or self-destruct. It's totally up to us how you use a shovel. You can use it to plant a tree, or you can use it to whack your neighbor in the head. But that's just, it's a tool. So we can use it wisely or not. Anyways, moving on to the last prediction. That's enough rambling. Check out the website. Companies buy up the fire lands. You know, all those places that have just been set on fire? Watch how quickly the companies rush in there to buy it all up for, you guessed it, data centers, ladies and gentlemen. And we won't want to say that too loud either, so we don't get shot by you know who, you know how. And we'll talk about that more in here, because it's usually only the usual suspects that are behind all this. And we can talk specifically more about that in the future. I'll tell you what they're doing and what they're up to if they don't get me first.